Hello everyone, my name is Max Straker. Some of you might know me as MamaMax, and I'm a filmmaker dedicated to empowering children. It seems there's a lot of confusion around my channel, so I would like to take this time to explain what the heck I'm trying to do here on this platform by responding to some comments on my previous upload.
What happened to you, Max? You were once one of the best content creators I've ever watched on this website. Your motivational videos from 7 years ago were amazing. Making me laugh while helping me through hard times, it was awesome.
Let me tell you what happened to me. My official YouTube journey as MamaMax started with a series called Life Sucks, where I shared personal struggles with depression and tried to give hope to others, telling them that things can improve with time and effort. Over time, I realized that not all viewers were looking for serious life advice, and my content about sensitive issues faced restrictions from YouTube. So I switched gears and made content to entertain and provoke, using humor to address and criticize the inappropriate sexualization of young boys and girls in Japanese culture. My hentai reviews. I'm not proud of that work, a little racy. YouTube didn't like it either, so I began reviewing video games that I felt could positively influence people's lives. As my content took on a more serious tone, I also started to change the way I presented my literal voice, diving into the horror genre with a video on Kanye Quest. I found a welcoming community of friends and enjoyed creating in that space. But it was here that I also began to notice alarming behaviors growing online. Sexual predators targeting children. The deeper I delved into the underbelly of the internet, the more I was confronted with chilling realities that defy the worst nightmares one can imagine. The exploitation and abuse of children, the defenseless cruelty of innocent animals, left my mind with permanent scars from these sites. Even in my own life, I noticed those who inflict pain have often been subjected to similar horrors in their own pasts. Acknowledging that child abuse is a widespread issue, my resolve has only grown. My fight against the exploitation of children is not just a professional mission, it is a personal one. That is what happened to me.
But you've abandoned that. All for this? What even is this?
So, the MamaMax universe was a cautionary tale that takes place in a dystopian future where child predators have seized global power, exploiting the digital landscape to entrench their rule. Rising from the ashes of a society that failed to protect its most vulnerable, the children emerged. A covert network of vigilantes inspired by the style of Hotline Miami. Once victims, they are now hunters of the monsters who hurt children. They form a structured rebellion, seeking to dismantle the predatory hierarchy and awaken the world to the lurking digital dangers. Each video served as a guide, teaching viewers to recognize, evade, and expose the insidious tactics of predators. This series was my stand against the proliferation and normalization of pedophilia on the internet, and the severe lack of justice in our law enforcement systems. While the narratives were crafted in fiction, the predator and the pursuit was very much a reality. As my work drew more controversial attention from YouTube, my viewership suffered a steep decline. It seems that the line between the fictional portrayal and the underlying truth became blurred for some, leading to confusion and concern. Perhaps in the future the time will be right to revisit these stories, but for now, it's apparent that society may not be prepared for such provocative content.
This is the kind of stuff I feel like I would find if I went on the deep web. It's actually terrifying. Terrifying enough to where I just can't stand to see what has become of this channel. What was once a place I could turn to for comfort is now a disturbing sight that I don't want to bear. Everything about your channel now contradicts what it originally stood for. I don't understand why this happened to you, Max. This is where I'm finally unsubscribing.
I'm sorry that my content disturbs you. But if this reality is too much, then be grateful that you have the luxury of simply turning off a video and unsubscribing. The children I'm advocating for do not have the luxury of turning off their real-life situations. If my current work bruises your comfort level to this extent, then perhaps it's best for both of us that you unsubscribe.
He's been making shit like this for ages. I don't know why you're shocked. Just unsub. Stop being emotional. Yeah, the world is a dark place. Sorry that offends you. The cat videos are that way.
I agree.
This isn't scary. It's edgy 2010 era garbage. It's gross that Max is doing this thing where he pretends to reach out to other big YT channels in order to help victims, when in reality he's exploiting these victims to try and get views. Genuinely evil behavior.
Genuinely evil behavior is taking the conversation away from sexual predators who victimize children and making it about the YouTuber that covered it, specifically because you don't like them. Your profile picture already speaks volumes about where you're coming from. If my aim were merely to chase views, I am in the absolute worst market of content creation on YouTube to do so. I am engaging in projects that require time, research, scripting, filming, and editing, just to get less views than everyone who is following the latest drama or trend. Your perception appears to be crafted by forums notorious for doxing, stalking, harassing, and spreading disinformation about individuals they can't stomach or comprehend. Yet you and your kind continue to watch each upload, claiming to despise what you so religiously consume. I can only hope that you heal from whatever twisted life you live in the self-inflicted dilemma.
Imagine taking subjects as serious as child abuse, human trafficking, pedophilia, and abduction brainwashing, and using them as mere window dressing to get noticed again because your YouTube relevancy is dwindling rapidly.
Comparing crucial issues like child abuse, human trafficking, and pedophilia as window dressing for YouTube relevancy says far more about you than you realize. Months were invested collaborating with the survivor to ensure her story is portrayed in a manner that reflects her lived experiences and the gravity of her suffering. In fact, the full 5-hour interview was uploaded to her channel instead of my own to help build her own platform. This is linked in the description, the end screen, and the pinned comment. Your choice to overlook these details and instead diminish this work is a telling revelation of your own character.
Just unsubscribed from you today. Couldn't even make it past the first 5 minutes of this video. It's such a shame that you've fallen so hard from grace, especially since I've enjoyed many of your Life Sucks videos. But ever since you quit Life Sucks, you've been going downhill, saying really dumb shit, causing controversy and drama, and being a cynical asshole. It's honestly unbelievable.
It's unfortunate that you've decided to unsubscribe after just 5 minutes into a video that tackles grave issues affecting the lives of real children. Your reluctance to engage with a video of this kind indicates your threshold for confronting reality. If you consider my advocacy for the well-being of children to be saying dumb shit, then perhaps you are someone who warrants closer scrutiny. But feel free to clarify, because I too would like to know what dumb shit you think I'm saying.
MamaMax. Nobody but 12-year-olds and wine moms think you're cool or interesting. You're just cringy and an attention whore. On a side note, I have grown to hate how MamaMax has started to exploit child predation to obtain fame. I'd have more respect if he kept it under the it so from the bottom of his heart. Not because it's a good content farm. Judging by how he's treating it, he most definitely is doing it purely for the sake of content and other materialistic pursuits. I am beyond disappointed.
Your disparaging labels are immaterial to our mission. Whether I'm perceived as cool or cringy does not matter. Comments like yours contribute nothing to a serious conversation about devastating issues. When the stakes are this high, you are a distraction from the urgent work at hand. I'd encourage you to think more carefully before projecting yourself in YouTube comment sections.
I'll be honest, this is way too edgy to the point it's almost laughable. It being so edgy means no mainstream media large YouTuber will ever care or listen. This is the sort of thing that has to be done professionally and properly, and presented as such. Filling it with edge just ruins it. Honestly, it feels like an ARG, but it's real that just turns it awful. Sorta like something out of 2010. It's a brilliant creative process, but creativity doesn't do shit to actually help people, at least not artistic creativity.
I appreciate your honest feedback, but it's crucial to differentiate between your personal opinion and objective facts. Every single day, issues like this go unreported or under-discussed precisely because they lack the flashiness or drama or edge that captures mainstream attention. My approach has always been to fill that gap by making these critical stories unignorable, even if that means employing creative techniques. In a media landscape that's constantly shifting its focus, the goal is to give these stories the attention they so desperately need and deserve. While you might find the style jarring, remember that the subject matter itself is far more unsettling. And it is clear that you understand that this is a real story.
You're making a huge problem seem like an ARG. No one's actually going to take this seriously.
Okay, Patrick Bateman. Your comment is a paradox. If you acknowledge that this is a huge problem, then why would you argue that it won't be taken seriously? The approach I have employed in the opening 2 minutes of the trailer is meant to offer a visceral experience of the tactics used by cult leaders, precisely to underline how serious and manipulative these issues can be. This is to make it palpable and immediate for the viewer. The video is not an ARG. The purpose was to provoke and analyze influencer reactions, specifically when the content suddenly shifts to an extremely serious topic.
I wanted people to click on the video being like, oh, what's this? Watch me brainwash your favorite influencers. Oh, chat, hey chat, let's do this video.
This obviously did not happen, but I think it would have been fun. If you find the format disconcerting, perhaps it's worth considering that the approach has successfully captured your attention and started a dialogue by driving you to the comments on this video.
I feel like it's kind of a low blow asking PewDiePie to come back to address stuff like this when he stated that he's quitting YouTube to focus on his family. But ultimately, I understand your point.
I appreciate that you ultimately understand my point. That also means you'll understand the magnitude of the issues we're confronting leaves no room for silence. If PewDiePie can come back and talk about Sniper Wolf, then he and others can talk about the nightmarish realities that millions of children are enduring every day, and how our collective inaction is failing them on a global scale. Every influencer, regardless of their current engagement level, has a platform that could be used to drive significant change. There is an array of methods to address these issues in a way that is both impactful and accessible to their audience. As people with the power to influence public opinion, we are not doing enough. Sorry if I'm being too mean, guys. I am genuinely grateful for those of you who've actually taken the time to provide constructive criticism. You are clearly looking at my actions. As you can see, I am listening. Although I'm still confused by the elusive psychosocial dynamics that prohibit humans from consuming serious topics in a creative manner. But if talking head videos are the language that the internet understands, then let's speak it. So, last week I released a charity video in collaboration with the survivors of a destructive sex cult that has victimized hundreds of minors. Despite its significance, it turned out to be the worst performing video on my channel. While I fully accept responsibility for the video's underperformance, I want to make it clear, before the video even hit the platform, the survivor was integrally involved. Nothing was done without her explicit approval. The wave of criticism by detractors about a narrative that is not theirs to tell reveals behaviors that aren't just unhelpful, they are harmful. As a result, I will be disabling comments on the trailer, steering the discourse towards external platforms to encourage more outside discussions. But I think it's important to clarify the intention behind this project. I designed this trailer as a catalyst for meaningful discussions, laced with hidden layers and nuanced elements to encourage in-depth analysis. These secrets are breadcrumbs that guide viewers toward a deeper understanding of the issues. To each and every one of you who took the extra effort to actually explore the whole video and all of the linked resources, I extend my heartfelt gratitude. You know who you are, and your willingness to engage deeply with such pressing issues is not just commendable, but you are the very reason why I have faith in humanity. I was hoping to achieve the same level of effort from other influencers. We proactively reached out to many different reaction channels, hoping to pique their interest in engaging with a topic of such grave importance. Yet the very purpose of the video falls short when these creators stop responding and choose not to engage. Only a handful out of the tons we reached out to gave any type of feedback whatsoever. I understand the sensitivity of the topic discourages engagement. Yet this only underscores the urgency of discussing these issues. I had hoped that influencers, especially those who've interacted with my content before, would step up, even if it was part of a more lighthearted stream, like a Halloween special. Unfortunately, it seems that self-preservation outweighs child welfare for most influencers, a disturbing realization that aligns with the central themes of the film. After consulting with multiple experts in cult psychology, it became clear to me that many influencers employ cult-like techniques to build and retain their audiences. While some use their influence responsibly, there are too many who leverage it for personal gain, often at the expense of impressionable young minds. For this reason, I chose to brand the channel as God Cult, highlighting the uncomfortable truth that cult-like methods pervade across all platforms. This lack of accountability underscores the urgent need for both creators and consumers to approach online content carefully and critically. The trailer used the same techniques that real cults use to manipulate audiences, the difference being transparency. While real cults disguise their dark motives, I made my intentions clear from the beginning, starting with the very title of the video. This was an attempt to educate by demonstration, even if the stylized approach might not suit everyone. Perhaps my creative vision is influenced by my autistic traits and don't align with the preferred formats of YouTube. But I'd argue that talking head videos like this one can sometimes perpetuate parasocial relationships, something I am actively trying to combat. But I have observed, even with my own content, that online audiences prefer easily digestible videos rather than being challenged or provoked. Over the years, I nurtured the hope that my work could encourage viewers to think more critically and engage more deeply with the content they are consuming. Unfortunately, the trend has moved in the opposite direction toward superficial interactions. The tendency to skim through videos or bypass additional resources highlights this shift. While I recognize the appeal, this format is much easier to produce and still often outperforms more labor-intensive projects due to its familiarity and accessibility. It is very unfortunate that this format overshadows projects designed creatively around the subjects they are discussing. So, to address this, I will continue making videos like this one.
This video feels very exploitative itself.
Your feelings about the video, without explaining further, are noted. Here's a message from the survivor herself.
Hey everyone, I'm Spencer. I am here to talk today about some of the reactions towards the trailer. I appreciate every bit of support that we have received, and I appreciate all of the constructive feedback. What I do not appreciate is people being offended on my behalf. What I do not appreciate is my story being ignored because people want to clutch their pearls. I have been fighting for so long, screaming my story from the rooftops so that we can see justice. You've not only disrespected me, but you've also disrespected the other survivors by ignoring this issue at hand. Children are still being abused by Camden Gerard Davis.
On March 18th, 2016, Spencer, a 16-year-old girl from Wiley, Texas, mysteriously disappeared. Lured by the illusion of joining a supernatural family as a vampire on some random corner of the internet, she actually found herself ensnared in a dangerous sex cult led by a child predator posing as a werewolf god. The man had recruited hundreds of young children, subjecting them to sending CP, kidnapping, assault, and attempted trafficking. Almost 7 years later, Spencer and the other survivors shared their stories with me. This video serves as their scream for action against their perpetrator. Camden Gerard Davis. Leviathans are coming for you.
Something needs to be done about this. I really hope that you guys can start sharing my story. You'll find the almost 5-hour interview on my channel, Spencer-3414. I hope I can see you there.
Spencer is pursuing legal action against Camden and the law enforcement agencies that failed her. To support this effort, donations received via our Patreon will be allocated for this legal process. All additional funding will be used to film this story as it unfolds. If you are a survivor of Camden Gerard Davis and would like to participate, please reach out to us. Use the hashtag #WeAreReal and do not stop hashtagging us until we find you. If you're some rando just watching this video for fun, please help us find them.